Hey everybody, it's Ariannitalagringa, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will teach all of you English in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States, but don't get confused between Washington State and Washington, D.C. Washington is one of the 50 states in the United States, but Washington, D.C., where I'm at right now, is not a state, it's a district. It's called Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. And this is where the United States government is located. In today's video, we will be going to different parts of the city, like the White House and some monuments, like the Washington Monument behind me, all while learning English together. Now let's go to the National Mall. This is the National Mall. But where's the shopping mall? Well, this National Mall is actually a huge park with lots of monuments and museums surrounding it. So it's not a place where you can go shopping. That is the Washington Monument. It's a big pointy pillar right in the middle of the National Mall, and it was built to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. That is the Washington Monument. Did you know you can go inside the monument and up to the very top of the monument? To get there, you have to go up an elevator and you'll go up to the observatory where you'll see all the monuments and statues all the way up at the top. But to go inside the monument, you have to reserve your ticket either online or in person, and it's free. Did you know the Washington Monument is 555 feet tall and it has 36,000 stones? Now let's go to one of the most famous cemeteries here in the United States. Right now, I'm at a cemetery. This is a place where bodies are buried. And this is a historic cemetery because you can find the tomb of the unknown soldier and the Kennedy gravesite. This cemetery is called the Arlington National Cemetery, and it's located in Virginia. Right now, I'm at the top of the Arlington Cemetery, and you can see the beautiful view of Washington, D.C. You can see the Washington Monument, the Capitol Building, and also the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. There are two ways to get to the very top of the cemetery. You can walk up here, but it takes a while, or you can take a tour and go up on a trolley where you'll have a tour guide, and this tour guide will make different stops around the cemetery. One of the most famous landmarks is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where you can find the tombs of unknown soldiers, and also you can watch the changing of the guard. This is a tombstone. Tombstone. It's a stone on or over a grave. It has a person's name on it, for example, Edward, when they were born, when they died, and also sometimes it might have a short message on it. Now let's go to the White House. But how do we get there? Well, here in Washington, D.C., there's tons of ways to get around the city. You can hop on a bus, go on the metro, which is the subway here, or even ride a bike. If you want to ride the bus, you'll probably find one at a bus stop where they pick people up. Also, to ride a bus, you have to pay a fare of $2.25, and if you want to ride the subway, the fare is also $2.25. Of course, you can always get a taxi, or you can just walk around like these people are doing behind me. If you want to improve your vocabulary about transportation or any other type of topic, then I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, Promova. Promova is a language learning app that is designed for you to memorize flashcards so you can easily learn English. Promova has flashcards for every topic, like, for example, transportation vocabulary, so you can learn phrases like how to hail a taxi, how to ride a bike, or even how to rent a car. Click the link in the description box to try Promova with 60% off. Thank you to Promova for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now let's go to the White House. This is the White House. It's a humongous house and it has 132 rooms and 35 bathrooms. It's home to the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and it's been home to most of the presidents in the United States since John Adams. The White House is guarded by a highly trained team of agents called the Secret Service who protect the president and their family around the White House, and that's probably why you see a lot of police cars or Secret Service agents around the White House. As I said before, inside the White House, there are many rooms, and one of the most iconic rooms is called the Oval Office. This is the president's private office, and it's iconic because it has an oval shape and a large desk in the middle of it, and that's where the president works. Right now, I'm inside the Lincoln Memorial. This is another famous monument, but what is a monument? A monument is something that honors an important figure or events. For example, this monument honors Abraham Lincoln. He's over there sitting down in a chair. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln used to be the tallest president of the United States of America? He was 6 feet 4 inches tall, and he used to wear a top hat, which made him a lot taller. So when he wore his top hat, he was 6 feet 11 inches tall. Right now, I'm 5 feet 10 inches, so I imagine I would have to look up to Abraham Lincoln to actually talk to him. If you don't know a lot about Washington, D.C., you can go on a tour. There's a bunch of tours around the National Mall and around the White House, and you'll get paired with a tour guide who will let you know the history about Washington, D.C. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you tell me a little bit about this tour?
So here at Capital Express, we do a fully narrated 2-hour golf cart tour on one of the carts over there. You're going to drive all around the mall. You're going to have stops at the monuments, the memorials. We're going to drive up the center of the mall, explain it the whole time, stay with you in the cart the whole time so you're not waiting on us.
Awesome. And then what is the most interesting thing to see in this city?
Well, my favorite building is the Smithsonian Castle, which is sadly closed. But I think the best museum is American history because you get everything from the flag that flew over Fort McHenry, that inspired the Star Spangled Banner, Abe Lincoln's hat, and the ruby red slippers from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, great. And then how much is this tour?
So we are for our day tour, it's $69 for adults, 49 for kids, 12 and under. Our night tour is $10 more, so 79 and 59. But DC at night to me is one of the most beautiful cities in the entire world.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Right now, I'm in another part of DC called Georgetown. It's a small town where you can see people walking around, shopping at the shops they have here, and also eating out inside restaurants. If you don't want to eat inside a restaurant, you can find food with local street vendors who sell food like tacos, ice cream, burgers, and many more things on the street. This is the Capitol building. It's the home of the US Congress, and it's where lawmakers make rules for our country. It's where laws are made. And this building is unique because it has a large dome in the middle of the building. And under the dome, inside the building, there's a huge hall with lots of paintings that tell the history of the United States. This is the Jefferson Library of Congress. This is another great place to visit here in Washington, D.C. And inside the library, you'll enter this beautiful grand staircase, this huge room with lots of statues and paintings. And at the top of the stairs, you can find Jefferson's private library with the original books he read. If you're visiting a city for the first time, you can check out a souvenir shop or a souvenir store, which is basically a shop where you can buy things to remember your trip. In this store, they sell t-shirts, keychains, magnets, Capitol building mugs or shot glasses, National Mall maps or posters, statues, and with the upcoming election, they also have Kamala Harris and President Trump all throughout the store. This is a museum. I'm in front of the National Museum of Natural History. And this museum is one of many of the Smithsonian museums here in Washington, D.C. And it's completely free. When you walk inside, they will check your bag. And once you enter the big room, you'll see a big elephant. And here in this museum, there are many exhibitions to see. For example, I walked around the dinosaur exhibit where I saw many dinosaurs, different fossils, and different artifacts when dinosaurs were alive. Another cool exhibit they have here in this museum is the cell phone exhibit. And I walked around and you could see how cell phones were made and what type of technology is in cell phones. Right now, I will go to a special street full of embassies. Let's go. One thing that really stands out about Washington, D.C. is all the embassies. An embassy is a country's official office in another country. Embassies are only located in the capital of a country. For example, we're in Washington, D.C., so this is where all of the embassies are located. This city has around 186 embassies, and they also have consulates here. When you go inside an embassy, if you're a citizen of that country, you can renew your passport or apply for one. Or if you're not from that country, you can apply for a visa, like a tourist visa. For example, if you're from Spain and you live in the United States, you can apply for a passport or renew your passport here at the embassy, the Spanish embassy in Washington, D.C. I'm in front of the Mexican embassy, and I'm from America, and I want to know if I need a visa to visit Mexico, or if I stay in Mexico, how many days can I stay there without overstaying a visa? Let's go find out. I'm American, and I was wondering if I need a visa to visit Mexico.
You will have to go to the Mexican consulate for that information.
I'd have to go to the consulate to get that information?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, I have to visit a consulate here in Washington, D.C. to get some more information to see if I need a visa to visit Mexico. But now I'm going to ask the Spanish embassy if I need a visa to visit Spain. I wasn't able to have somebody in the video, I couldn't record them, but they did give me some information. As a US citizen, I can travel to Spain for up to 90 days. But if you're from a different country, the rules may differ. Okay, everybody, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys learned a lot of English vocabulary in Washington, D.C. Go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!